Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. I want to reiterate this. I know we talked about this the other day. Echo the Truth here posting this. I couldn't agree more with what Vet is saying. Those new juicy yields popping up across the XRP ledger might look amazing, but none of these protocols are fail-proof. I know over the last few days, we have been seeing new projects coming out on the XRP ledger from Midas, Securitize, and FLR. This is from Vet. This is the original Vet tweet. Let me be clear, very clear. Any of these yield-bearing tokens, yield offerings, no matter if they're on FLR, EVM sidechain, Midas, Securitize, or whoever comes next for XRP has risks. Every ounce of yield is paid by some amount of risk, guys. And yes, some of the projects will rug and go belly up. So just be careful. Echo the Truth continuing by saying, none of these are fail-proof. Every ounce of yield comes with risk. Sometimes things look too good to be true. And a perfect example is the Link 2 Ripple saga that is currently going on. Hundreds of millions were lost when people trusted the hype, including many in the XRP community who followed specific influencers. Now, I want to say proudly, I never was, first of all, I was never asked, but second of all, I was never interested in it anyway. So luckily dodged that bullet. This is why I stress regulation and compliance, he says. If you want to put your digital assets to work, do it in a transparent, audited environment. And so, yeah, this is exactly what we have to remember, guys. Even Panos coming out saying, reminder, nothing is risk-free. If someone claims that, they are dangerous. Every asset, every piece of code, everything you do in your life involves some type of risk. That includes MXRP and FXRP, which both have different types of risks. Regardless of how low or how high the risk is or how safer an asset should be considered, play responsibly. He basically says, understand the risks and happy yielding. So he's saying, at least if you're going to do it, you should understand the risk. Never, never, never risk everything. Never put everything on the table. Me personally, I'm interested in trading. And so this is why I started the Patreon for only $5 a month. Yeah, it's only a $5 a month subscription. You got to subscribe and stay subscribed, though, to lock into that price. That's where I'm sharing my trading journey. You guys can see all the different types of cryptos I own there. My legacy portfolio is my biggest batch. And, I'm really focused on timing the top of the market. The market is at a critical point right now, and we do have to be careful. We do have to make sure we have a plan and that we're moving in the right direction. I also want to take this time to let you guys know that if you are part of the Patreon, or if you're thinking of being part of the Patreon, I do have a live Q&A event coming up this Saturday, September the 27th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it is only for the Patreon subscribers, so check it out if you guys are interested in that. It is interesting, too, that we are seeing Sam Bankman-Fried suddenly popping back up. Another one from Echo the Truth. Think back to 2021. The cascading liquidations that rocked crypto, especially DeFi, traced straight through FTX. Their implosion triggered a chain reaction. The Terra Luna collapse, UST's algorithmic stablecoin death spiral. Remember that? I know firsthand. I was one of the people wiped out by chasing the can't miss API on that stablecoin. So these are the things we have to pay attention to. These are the things we have to worry about. Fast forward to today. Regulation is accelerating worldwide. New DeFi protocols are spouting out on the XRP ledger almost weekly. BlackRock just announced plans to utilize XRPL technology. And right on cue, SBF surfaces or resurfaces. Maybe he's not directly involved, but this reappearance feels like a reminder. Unregulated DeFi is still the Wild West. Markets have been climbing, leverage is building, and we all know what often follows: a liquidation event to reset the board, especially with so many degen plays floating around the XRPL right now. I'm not claiming insider info, this is just speculation, but it's hard to imagine institutions like BlackRock going all in without serious DeFi regulation. We have recently gotten more regulatory certainty, and this is why we're seeing big institutions coming in. However, SBF returning on X, sending the FTT token soaring 55%. Yeah, so he did reemerge September the 24th, which was yesterday, if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it. Following the update, FTT surged over 55%. Let's take a look at the FTT token. That is the that is the FTX token, and wow. This was back from 2022. You guys can see that it didn't really go too far, though. This is the weekly. Let me throw that on the hourly. So he came back, and it did surge from down in here. It did surge about 50. Well, they're taking it from the right at the bottom here, 50, 55. I mean, really, in this one day, it only really surged about 50%. Nevertheless, it's back down again. So it is still up, but not even 10%, about 9.5%, because it did just crash back down. Guys, don't believe the hype. That is FOMO trading, and I don't think we need to have a crypto bull run this time with SBF, but tell me down in the comments what you guys think. Here we go. This is more substantial news. Hashdex, NASDAQ Crypto Index, US approved. Okay, this is the ETF under SEC's new generic listings. Will now be able to own crypto beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. So guys, this just recently got approved too. Security and Exchange Commission. This is the self-regulated organizations, the NASDAQ stock market notice and filing immediate effectiveness of the NASDAQ crypto fund. And so this is obviously to permit the trust to come under the generic listing standard of that rule. And guys, look at what they're listing here. On top of Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're going to see XRP, Solana, and Stellar being included in this Hashdex holding. So this is just from today, September the 25th, 2025, if you guys are watching this on the day that I'm releasing it. So that is great news. This is also coming out from Japan, guys. Ripple partner MUFG Bank is teaming up with Tencent to revamp China's network. Okay, so Japan updating and migrating core systems to Tencent's cloud platform to improve services. Oh, and unfortunately, there is no, I cannot read further than that because it is a pay-to-play article here. Nevertheless, we do have a Ripple partner now teaming up with Tencent, guys, looking to improve cloud performance in China. So expanding to different countries, of course, China is a big one. We got a bit of a synopsis here from Google. So Japan's MUFG Bank teams up with Tencent to revamp China's network. The current in-house system, the same one the bank uses in Japan, will now replace the standardized system provided by a Chinese software company that serves financial institutions. And guys, they're going to be using the Tencent cloud platform by October 2027. So this is a future project coming down the pike. Of course, MUFG Bank, a big bank in Japan, and one of the committed banks in the consortium of Japanese banks that has committed or did commit to running on RippleNet way back several years ago now. So interesting that they're also moving into China. I'm going to keep moving along because we are seeing more ETF filings too. Now, Amplify has filed for an XRP ETF. They will keep coming, guys, and we're still waiting on several coming mid-month, next month, okay? Amplify ETFs have been filed, preliminary prospectus for new XRP ETF. So this is just another one being filed here with the SEC. Another great one there from Chad Steingraber. On top of that, ICE Futures US launches the CoinDesk XRP futures contract on September the 22nd, which was a few days ago, boosting XRP's liquidity and institutional access. So this just happened, okay? Contract specs from submission, the size 50,000, CoinDesk XRP benchmark reference rate. We got some details there. Settlement cash settled to average of 5s rate, okay, on the last Friday of each month, trading 6-month contracts and limit 5K spot, all month accountability, low to curve manipulation. So notional value is about $152,000, okay? And guys, it is clearing through ICE. So this is all just to show you that this is all institutionally regulated. ICE Futures, remember they are a subsidiary, I believe, of the NYSE, or they are the parent company of the NYSE, if I'm not mistaken. So guys, this is all regulated. On top of that, we got to acknowledge who's going to be speaking at Swell. We've just got another announcement, this one from Digital Asset Buy. Kim Hochfeld, okay, SMD and Global Head of Cash Business and Securities Lending. She is from State Street, guys. And do you remember what State Street was saying many years ago? This is a clip of another representative from State Street discussing digital assets and the future possibilities. Listen to this.
Talking about intellectual properties, paintings, other things like CryptoKitties, right? People have heard of CryptoKitties. So we're seeing assets start to become digitized, trickle, and then we believe there'll be a flood. When that happens, I would look at a historic precedent. If you think about 30 years ago when assets moved from materialization to dematerialization, where we moved from coupon clipping to stock certificates to electronification. We believe the same thing will happen with digital assets.
So he is suggesting the same thing is going to happen with digital assets. And again, this was State Street's head of digital assets at that time, Jay Bioncamano. Jay Bioncamano, I think is how you pronounce it. Trickle, and then we're going to see a flood. So is it any surprise that now Ripple has the head of global assets of cash business and securities lending from State Street going to be speaking at Swell this year? So wanted to thank Digital Asset Investor for posting that. And guys, have a listen to what Hugo Philion is predicting for XRP and FLR holders. This is great. This is from a recent Twitter X Spaces. Listen to this.
The world is going to change very rapidly over the next 10 years. And I genuinely believe that the people that hold crypto will end up having a very substantial power base in the world, because I think they'll be holding one of the last assets that is not controlled by governments. And I think one of the amazing things about XRP and about Flare is that it has captured a large audience that genuinely has the ability to rebuild society once it collapses. And one of the things that has been really nice about this experience with Flare has been the ability to educate those people how to use those assets in different ways. Of course, there's degens, but I do think Flare's mix of users is probably less degen, less less nihilistic. So I think a lot of chains have a very large number of nihilistic users who essentially, for them, their life is basically make money through crypto, or their life doesn't continue in the way that, or it doesn't work out the way they would like it to be. I think it's like basically casino or bust for a lot of people on a lot of chains. Flare is different, and XRP is different, and I'm very grateful for that. That a lot of people have, you know, real things in their lives, and this is a pastime and a way to perhaps maximize their, you know, their economic future. So that's one of the reasons that we have been even more careful than perhaps we could have been with what we're building, because for a lot of the people in our ecosystem, it's a very different scenario. They're not here just to gamble. They are here to maximize their economic utility. And that matters to me, and that matters to the team.
They're also here to maximize their economic utility. But you heard what he said. Those who hold XRP and Flare are going to hold power. They're going to be a significant power base in the world. That is an interesting comment because you know, you don't usually hear that for people that do hold cryptocurrencies in any general way. I mean, what he's saying is a lot of people treat this like a casino, and I know some people do, you know, where we look at crypto prices and we buy and we sell, you know, just depending on where we think the crypto is going to go next. We are all speculators at this moment in time. But guys, XRP, Flare, whatever the coin is for the future, that is the outlook. That is the grand plan that guys like Hugo Philion are looking towards. It's not just about the here and now. It is about the future, and this is why I'm keeping some of my cryptocurrencies for the long term. I do not want to miss out on that. That is like insurance. What am I going to do right now? How am I treating my cryptos? Well, you guys can find all that out at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Again, I am going to be hosting a live Q&A event Saturday, September the 27th. And arguably, I think this is probably one of the most important live Q&As that I'm going to be holding, considering we're at this critical point in the market. I think everybody is just waiting to cash out to see those next highs. When is that going to come? Well, join the Patreon, guys. It is only for Patreon subscribers, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If you want to join, bring your questions, people. I also want to mention that I have the Working Money Channel merch store. If you guys are thinking of purchasing some Working Money Channel merch, I want to say every little bit counts, and I want to thank everybody who has purchased some Working Money Channel merchandise. I'm glad that you guys are liking the items there. Link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.